All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about my Green Bay Packers, now 4-2, top 10 team in the National Football League, however you want to cut that up. Taking down the Arizona Cardinals at home 34-13. Green Bay has now won 4 of its last 5 games, with its only loss coming by 2 points to the currently undefeated top 3, top 2, top 1 team in the NFL, the Minnesota Vikings. According to ESPN stats and info, the NFC North is the first division since the realignment in 2002, with all 4 teams winning at least 4 games through the first 6 weeks of the season. So things are about to get extremely fun, extremely interesting really quickly. The Packers are currently 4th in the NFL in point differential at plus 41. Now you got Christian Watson back in the lineup, Romeo Doubs back in the lineup. Those guys had 3 touchdowns combined against Arizona. But folks, all 4 teams that are in the top 4 point differential in the NFL are all in the NFC North. So every team right now is taking as many wins as they humanly can, because this second half of the NFL season in the NFC North is going to be insanity. But folks, before we get any further into today's video, hit that like button, hit that sub button. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this video. More on that in just a second. But Packers fans, if you could try and get this video to 100 likes, folks, that would mean the absolute world to me. A lot of this has to do clearly with Jordan Love. The defense is doing a phenomenal job, but we're going to get into that defense in just a couple of minutes here. But Jordan, after getting banged up against the Philadelphia Eagles in week 1, at the end of the game in week 1, he misses 2 games. And the Packers win both of those 2 games. And then obviously, we come out really short against the Minnesota Vikings with one of, if not the best defense in the entire National Football League. But that was Jordan Love's first game from, that Philly injury. So Jordan this past Sunday, 22-32. 258 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. That was because Bo Melton slipped on the Lambeau Field. His 4 touchdown passes tied a career high set 2 weeks ago and made it the first time since Mr. Brett Favre as they call him in this family, in 1995, that a Packers quarterback has thrown for at least 4 touchdowns in consecutive home games. Now, a lot of that has to do with the offensive line. The offensive line should get more praise across the National Football League media, but the offensive line stepped up huge this past Sunday against Arizona. They kept Jordan Love as clean as possible. They kept him clean, actually, on 69.4% of his dropbacks. Love completed 17 to 23 pass attempts for 188 yards and 3 touchdowns when kept clean, earning an 81.6 passing grade and averaging 8.2 yards per pass attempt. So, run game, Josh Jacobs, Emmanuel Wilson is really only being appreciated within the Packers fan base right now, but this guy he's such a nice change of pace running back from what we have in Josh Jacobs. Marshawn Lloyd also will be back, but Josh Jacobs, the stat sheet didn't really necessarily showcase how good he was on Sunday or how good he's been this season. 18 carries, 62 yards, 3.4 yards per carry, but a lot of those were for first downs or just positive plays. Emmanuel Wilson on Sunday, 7 carries, 54 yards, averaging 7.7 yards per carry, and we haven't even gotten to his receiving statistics. He's done a phenomenal job as the backup running back for Green Bay thus far this season. So I have my offensive line really gelling, really getting this chemistry, the Tom and Wright, now that we're a quarter of the way, or a third of the way, I should say, through the regular season. Jordan Love looks pretty much fully healthy at this point. My running game's on point. The Packers are fully healthy offensively. Romeo Doubs is back from his suspension. Christian Watson is back from his injury. And that was, I believe. So our Green Bay Packers are sitting here at 4-2. The Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings are squaring off this upcoming Sunday. But like a biased Packers fan in myself, I'm looking at these odds over here on BetUS. Shout out BetUS for sponsoring this video. Green Bay's sitting here at plus 450. Plus 450. That's something that kind of has me licking my chops here. But once again, I'm a biased Green Bay Packers fan. But guys, BetUS is doing 150% bonus on your first deposit. For your next 2 deposits, you will receive a 125% bonus, all with the code YouTube150. Go check it out. Let's get back. The 3rd game this season out of 6 that the Packers offense was finally fully healthy. So a lot of the success that we're seeing the defense has been phenomenal. And we said this the entire offseason. I feel like every Packers fan was so excited for Jeff Hafley, the new defensive coordinator, but there was a little bit of, I wouldn't use the word concern, I would use the word hesitation. There was a lot of hesitation where it's like, all right, his track record is cool. He was a Matt LaFleur buddy, but is it actually going to happen? We need to see pen hit the paper. We need to see this live action reps and see how this defense holds up because, we've said it on this channel for years now. Joe Barry had such a good defense. He had such a good defense in his entire tenure with the Green Bay Packers, but we were always in the bottom category of every single defensive statistic, and it made no sense. So we get Jeff Hafley to be our defensive coordinator, and what we keep hearing is he loves free safeties. And so what does he do? We go out there and we sign a free safety, and his name's Xavier McKinney. And he had an interception, 5 interceptions in his first 5 games of the season. We'll talk about him in just a second here. Folks, I'm sure you've seen it all over Twitter. The 2 highest graded safeties so far this season, number 1, rookie Evan Williams at 91.4, and number 2, new acquisition Xavier McKinney at 90.7. Like, Evan Williams is PFF's number 1 graded safety in the NFL and number 1 graded rookie in the NFL through 6 games. Only played 150 snaps. He had the game-sealing interception against the Colts. He had the game-sealing pass breakup on 4th down against the Rams. He had a 3rd down tackle for loss on Kyler Murray versus Arizona on Sunday. He also had a forced fumble on Sunday against Arizona. This is a rookie. So the Packers rank 18th in the league in yards allowed per game, but they're 9th in scoring defense. And a lot of this has to do with our takeaways. We're forcing offenses to turn the ball over, whether it's interceptions or fumbles. The Packers' 3 takeaways on Sunday bring them to a league high 17. And a really good example of why I'm not, I did my stream, I did my podcast, go check that out on Monday. And a lot of people were concerned, like, should the Packers make a move at edge? And I don't think so, because we've played so many mobile running quarterbacks. Like, we held Kyler Murray, one of the best running quarterbacks in the NFL, to 14 yards on 7 carries. We only blitzed on 11% of his 32 dropbacks because he's one of the most dangerous running quarterbacks in the NFL. So Green Bay ranked 23rd in the NFL last season with only 18 takeaways. And obviously through 6 games this season, we lead the NFL with 17. That's 4 more than any other team in the National Football League. The Packers' 17 takeaways are their most in the first 6 games since 2002, and the most in the league since the Bears had 17 back in 2018. The Packers are surrendering the 7th lowest passer rating allowed this season at 81.5%, and a lot has to do with that because of Mr. Xavier McKinney. One of the highest, second highest graded safety in the NFL, 90.8, right? He played phenomenal last year for the New York Giants, and he currently has a 90.7 coverage grade that leads all safeties through 5 weeks or 6 weeks, whatever. We're not a math channel here. That's all I have for today. Folks, everything is really clicking. Like, people freak out, not necessarily saying the Packers because Jordan Love got injured. Every team, NFL media needs clicks, and I understand I also need clicks. Everyone freaks out in the first month of the season, and it's the first month of the season basically glorified preseason now. And now that we're a third of the way into the season, we're really starting to see this dominant Green Bay Packers team that we all knew we were going to see. Huge matchup on Sunday against the Houston Texans. I will definitely post another Packers video. Until then, hit that like button, hit that sub button. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this video, and we will see you in a couple of days. But folks, give me a way too early Packers final win-loss record for this season. Peace.